Hello, this is Stormy with Scituate Weather Live. During today's weather update, we have a lot to talk about the potential storm on Monday. A lot of you have been asking me at school, are we going to have a snow day on Monday? And the answer to that is maybe. I think that the probability of us having a snow day is about 78%. It's getting much closer to the event, and things are getting a lot more certain in the forecast models. So let's get to it. This is what the GFS predicts for Monday in terms of precipitation. So as you can see, the storm has moved closer from what it was yesterday from the forecast video I released yesterday, showing that we're going to get more precipitation than we did before, meaning that as a result, we're going to get more snowfall. So this, again, says it right here, and this is just the GFS model. It's just showing you that the models are starting to trend more towards a more significant impact to the northeast coast. In terms of inland areas, whether they're going to get more snowfall, that is still uncertain at this time. Other models are predicting more of an closer to the coast, and again, this could change. It could move if it moves closer to the coast, and areas inland will get even more snow than what's expected right now. But currently, this is what one model projects that's going to happen, saying that pretty much the heaviest precipitation will remain over the coastal areas, and inland areas will not get as much snow. They'll get a little bit of snow. They won't get much snow, though. If this did happen, though, this would give us a pretty decently sized event. It wouldn't be as powerful as the blizzard we had this week. It wouldn't be as powerful as Juno, but it would be a very sizable storm, and we'll talk about snow totals later. But my main worry with this storm is that it wasn't really predicted before. Like yesterday was so uncertain that this might take people by surprise, but it won't be as bad as the last storm. So the next model I'm going to focus on is the NAM model, or the North American model, and this is what they're predicting. This is their showing the precipitation field much farther west, and it's showing inland more inland areas getting into the precipitation field. In inland areas, it will be also colder in inland areas too, so they're going to get even more snow accumulation then. But this is different from the GFS model because the GFS model shows much less precipitation inland and more on the coast, but this shows a more widespread precipitation over the majority of the Northeast, and even down into the northern mid-Atlantic, like New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania and parts of Delaware. But the NAM model usually is typically the snowy model, so it's showing more of a snowy event than the GFS model is, which is it's typically known as a more rainy model and a more warm model. And really, if the North American model's situation that it's predicting right now plays out, then we would get more snow. We definitely get a snow day on Monday. It still, again, would not be as powerful as a blizzard this week. It just doesn't have the intensity that the blizzard did, and it doesn't have the winds either. So the main, I would say the main worry would be this would be the worst case scenario to happen. And in this case, I would, even with this case though, it looks like a very sizable storm, but it does not look as much as the blizzard. Or even, for that matter, it looks like maybe if this was snow, we'd get like at least a half a foot of snow, or 10 inches maybe at the most. Okay, this is the SREF's model, which I usually show you guys the SREF plume. Well, this is the actual forecast map for it, except this is showing precipitation intensity, and you can see if you look right next to where Massachusetts is, right where it says there's a circle and it says 1,000 underneath it, 1,000 something. I can't read that right now, but it shows you that that means that the lowest pressure in that storm is just under 1,000 millibars, which is a very weak storm actually. I mean, it's not very weak, but it's much like the storm that we had before the blizzard was 975 millibars according to the Weather Channel, which is much stronger. Not, 1,000 millibars is usually cut off between high and low pressure. But this is showing, even though it's showing the storm in a location that's much more conducive for precipitation for most of the Northeast and a lot of snow. But again, the precipitation intensity won't be there because the pressure again is very high, and it's a little bit high that I expect that I don't even know how much snow that this will give us, because it might all come from the snow ratios, because I don't think that will drop that much precipitation. But it is going over. It looks like it's a little bit inside the 40-70 benchmark, meaning that it would be a little bit closer to the coast, giving inland areas more snow. And same with coastal areas, because temperatures will be conducive for that. It will be cold enough for areas all over the Northeast, excluding the Cape and Islands, to get snowfall out of the storm, and even some decent snow rates out of it, some snow ratios out of it. Okay, this is what the models are predicting in terms of temperature. The model you're looking at right now is the GFS model, the Global Forecast System, and it's showing you the surface temperatures for the Monday afternoon time frame, Monday midday afternoon time frame, and it's showing you how the temperatures are not going to be marginal unless you're in the Cape. If you're on the Cape, then it's going to be hovering between a little bit in the mid 30s to upper 30s, which is going to give you a mix for a time, or rain, so that's going to significantly cut down on snowfall accumulations for you. But I wouldn't say anything yet, because if the storm all of a sudden starts to go south of us, then you'll get all snow. Or more east of us. That's what happened in the blizzard. It ended up going a little bit more east of us, and we got the Cape got a lot more snow than expected to, because they didn't mix with as much rain as they expected. But as you can see, all the areas in New England are they're under 32 degrees, which means that that's conducive for very good snow growth rates and snow ratios, very high snow ratios of 15-1 or even 20-1 in some cases. Which this means that snow is going to pile up a lot faster, and it's going to be very fluffy. And this is going to add on to the additional snowfall that you already have. So areas in eastern Massachusetts that already have 30 plus inches of snow are going to add another maybe 10 inches onto that. They might have as much as 35 to 40 inches to ground, depending on the melting, how much melting is going to occur between now and Monday, which is probably not going to be a significant amount, because considering how much snow we already have on the ground, and we already had some rain today, and it just compacted the snow really, but we still have like 30 inches of it. Still really like 25 inches. Okay, this is the SREF's temperature forecast for the U.S., and if you look at the Northeast region, you can see that this is a little bit different to read. It took me a while to figure this out too, but the red line represents the 0 degree isotherm, which means it's a line of 32 degree temperatures, and you can see that's right down at the canal. Areas above that with the blue are showing you that that's below 32 degrees, and areas below the 32 degree isotherm are showing you, or the 0 degree isotherm in this case is 0 degrees Celsius. Areas below the 0 degrees Celsius isotherm are showing you that the temperature is over 32 degrees, and the temperatures, such as the temperatures on the Cape, which are below it, which are showing you that it's more conducive for a mix there for a time, but pretty much every other area is going to be snow. It doesn't look like it will mix at any other area. The temperatures will be very cold. And actually, I looked in the National Weather Service, and I think they mentioned that temperatures would be in like the mid-20s or even lower, and then 19 or so, or in the teens at night, which is that usually I think I've seen once that 15:1 ratios occur when it's 15 degrees outside, or that might be 20:1 actually, but but that means that you're going to get a very, very, very a lot of snow growth, meaning that you're going to get a lot of snow out of what you already have in terms of QPF. And the and although the SRES forecast model is not predicting a lot of precipitation, we might be able to get more precipitation out of it because of the low temperatures. Okay, this is some of the snowfall predictions that some of the forecasting models are predicting. And this, I'm not really going to focus on too much of the models in terms of snowfall prediction today. I wanted to show this because this is the SREF model, and this is an SREF plume from NOAA, and it's showing you that it's showing you a bunch of different forecast models, and then it takes the average of them, and it's showing you just over 10 inches for our area, which is southeastern Massachusetts is where we're based, is where Scituate Weather Live is based, or really in Scituate, Massachusetts. But you can see some show over 20. So some show almost 20 inches of snow, while others only show like 4 inches of snow. And one model shows 0 inches of snow, but the average is a little over 10. Is probably like 12 inches of snow, showing you that we're probably going to end up getting a sizable snow out of this storm. And it also shows you that it's not one model. I'm not basing my prediction on just one model that's an extreme. This shows you that this is like a very solid forecast that's based on a lot of other models. And this is almost like an ensemble forecasting where you get many different models and you see, and then you take the average to build in. It's almost like take away the margin of error in your forecast. That's why I like these kind of forecasts, for especially the SREF model. And if you guys ever want any of these models, I put them on my Scituate Weather Club's website, scituateweatherclub.weebly.com, and you can get a bunch of these snowfall maps and the SREF plumes. Here is my snow map that I have so far. This is still an initial map. I will make more maps over the course of the weekend. But I put southern New England in the jackpot because the precipitation, it most likely is not going to be able to reach all the way up into Maine and areas like the ski areas and Vermont. They may only get 1 to 2 inches there. But for the most part, the majority of southern New England is in the 10 to 14 inch zone. And really, areas like, I included Worcester in that, even though they weren't at the same latitude, with the line going down from Boston to Springfield. But because they're the hills, they're going to get a higher snow ratio because it's going to be colder there. They usually get the jackpot of most storms. I don't think they're going to get the jackpot of this storm, but I think it would be areas south of there. But they are going to get high snow totals because they won't have the amount of QPF coming in, which is the amount of precipitation coming in that some of the southern areas do. There's going to be a sharp cutoff at the Cape, and they're not going to get as much in the outer Cape because of mixing, and again, the temperatures will be over 32 degrees. As you back out to the west, you're going to get an even sharper gradient, and because the precipitation is not going to be able to make it that far inland unless things change and it goes more west, then you're going to be able to get more precipitation there, which means you're going to be able to get more snowfall. Then I'll have to increase your snow totals, but for now I had to keep the cutoff where it is because it doesn't look like it's going to make the precipitation is going to make much progress going inland. But for now, my main areas of concern are most of southern New England, including New York City, Boston, Worcester, Providence, and Hartford, and all the rural towns surrounding those cities.